أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم لك الحمد حتى ترضى ولك الحمد إذا ما رضيت ولك الحمد بعد رضا ولك الحمد أبدا 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 قال رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear brothers and sisters, we pick up our reflections today from where we stopped previously when we were speaking about the importance of ensuring that our families and those closest to us by ties of kinship benefit the most from our good conduct. Starting with our parents, Almighty Allah commands us to be dutiful to them. He asks us to be kind to them by acting with utmost humility towards them, to show them obedience and heed their call and counsel, and this is regardless of whether or not they share the same faith with us, as long as they have not invited us to worship anything other than Allah. For there is no obedience to the created if it means disobedience to the Creator. Allah commands us, where our parents are concerned, to ensure that their rights become our own duties as their children. And He has commanded us to pray for them ceaselessly. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exhorts us to taqwa and reminds us that He created us all from one single soul. And He asked us to be mindful of our duty to Him, particularly as it concerns the ties of kinship, and warns us not to sever the ties of kinship. Maintaining the ties of kinship guarantees our provisions with Allah. The hadith of the Holy Prophet Muhammad says, whoever is desirous that he should be granted more provision and his life be prolonged, the person should join the ties of blood relations. Severing these ties could also lead to one's supplications going unanswered and their deeds being unaccepted. Again, the Prophet Muhammad admonishes us and tells us that our deeds, the deeds of the son of Adam, are presented every Thursday night, and the deeds of the person who severs the ties of kinship will be rejected. May Almighty Allah spare us from such an ugly outcome. We must maintain good ties with our relatives by giving them their due rights. As Allah said, وَأَتِي ذِي الْقُرْبَى حَقَّهُ. This includes respect and kindness, irrespective of their economic condition or social status. We must extend physical and financial support to them. We must ask after them. We must visit them when they ill and fall into illness. We must talk to them kindly and help them attain their rights in accordance with the relative exigencies and nearness of kinship. The nearest to you being your parents, then your spouse and children, then your siblings with whom you share the womb, and then your step-siblings, and then your extended family. The ties of kinship has been secured, it's had its rights secured for it, and it is protected directly by Allah. As described in the hadith collected by Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, which we'll find in Sahih Bukhari, Allah will never be pleased with the one who is negligent of his duties to his family and his kin. May we be worthy of attaining Allah's pleasure. The full hadith goes thus, that Allah created the creations, then He finished from His creations a ram, the womb. And the womb said to Allah, at this place I seek refuge with you from all those who sever me, those who sever the ties of kith and kin. Allah said, yes, won't you be pleased that I will keep good relations with the one who will keep good relations with you, and I will sever the relation with the one who will sever the relations with you? The womb then said, yes, O my Lord. And Allah said, then that is for you. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, the ties of kinship should be maintained solely for Allah's sake. Some of us behave differently and treat this responsibility as though it is a transaction. We maintain good ties as long as the kindred of ours do the same with us, but otherwise we sever them. Real cherishing of blood relation is not observed in anticipation of an equal reaction on the part of one's kin, but the ties should be maintained for Allah's sake only. In a hadith reported in Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ describes to us the one that could be said to be al-wasil. Al-wasil being the one who maintains good relations with his kin. The Prophet ﷺ says al-wasil is not the one who recompenses the good done to him by his relatives, but al-wasil is the one who keeps good relations with those relatives who have severed the bond of kinship with him. I will close with this story from the time of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. The daughter of Abdullah ibn Mutayy said to her husband Talha bin Abdurrahman bin Auf, who was the most generous of his time from the Quraysh. She said to him, "O Talha, I did not see anyone more evil than your brothers." He said, "Why?" She said, "When your wealth becomes more and your money increases, they start visiting you and they stay around you. But when it decreases and you go through hardship, they leave you." He, Talha, said, "And this is by Allah, is from their generosity. They come to us at the time of strength when we can afford them and afford being generous to them. And they do not burden us at the time of our weakness when we cannot afford them." Dear brothers and sisters, relations with relatives and kinship should not be maintained and strengthened until one disregards, overlooks, and ignores small shortcomings. For he who counts everything pushes away people from him, and he who overlooks brings their hearts closer to him. May Almighty Allah grant and secure for us the best of provisions in this life and the hereafter. May He Azza wa Jalla make it easy for us to uphold and strengthen the ties of kinship. May He forgive our departed kith and kin and reunite us in His Jannah. I leave you once again with the words of Hassan al-Basri. May Almighty Allah be pleased with him. He said, "May Allah grant mercy to some people who use this life as though it were a loan. And then they gave it back to He who has entrusted it to them and went away with a light weight of burden." And I say again, once again, my dear brothers, finally, my dearest friends, live your life every day like it is Ramadan, and Akhirah will become your Eid, inshallah. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Subhanna rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun, wassalamun alal mursaleen, walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.